So you joined Microsoft from law enforcement, working for the FBI fighting cybercrime. Do you miss working in that environment?
Well, in fact, I completed my career with the FBI in June 2005. But then again, though, I was blessed with another opportunity, and that's to stand up on behalf of Microsoft, and particularly Microsoft's customers, and talk about the security community and the cyber and what's happening in this cyber arena. And things have changed. Even from the time that I don't like using the word retired. It makes me sound a little bit older than I am. But when I completed my term of service with the FBI, the last 5.5 years assigned to the U.S. Embassy here in London, the cyber threat was there, and it certainly was very real. But even in the last 3 years, it's changed. We're now seeing more targeted attacks, much more threatening attacks. But that said, despite the horror stories that I might be able to tell you, it's still relatively easy for everyone to be safe online by taking a few simple steps.
So you've got a lot of experience with the UK and the US working together. I mean, is there a special relationship in the sort of law enforcement side of that?
I think there's a special relationship between the UK and US in all aspects, but particularly in the area of law enforcement that we've seen since 9/11. That changed the world. And the exchange of information, particularly in the cyber arena, where we're seeing more electronic activity taking place on the internet. But that said, the relationship between the UK and many countries is very, very good from what I've seen from my perch when I was assigned to the U.S. Embassy, and even so at Microsoft with the alliances and partnerships that the company is developing with not only government agencies around the world, but with private enterprise.
So how is Microsoft currently working and fighting cybercrime?
Well, through our Microsoft Security Response Center, we have an Internet Safety Enforcement team, and they are working with law enforcement and particular government agencies in many parts of the world. And through our technology, through the Microsoft Security Response Center, where in fact we have the capability of looking at almost 400 million computers worldwide to see what kind of virus or Trojan or malware activity there's taking place. And many times some of that information can be transmitted or given over to law enforcement so that they can take their proactive steps. But even on the civil side, Microsoft has worked together with private enterprise around the world, and we've brought or assisted in almost 150 civil actions against spammers around the world.
So what you mentioned earlier on about the evolving threats in the sort of cyberspace, cybercrime. What are you seeing? What are the new big threats that we're facing?
Well, I think certainly through the security intelligence review, version 4 that Vinny Galata released this week at InfoSec, that tells a lot about the security landscape. But one of the biggest things that we must continue to look at is botnets, robot networks, compromised computers that are being controlled by organized crime from whatever part of the world. And it's not just the US, not just the UK, but we need to be looking at all parts of the world when we're talking about cybercrime.
So that means the Far East as well, and not just the Western.
No. In fact, somebody could be sitting here, at InfoSec, and engaging in some kind of criminal activity. Certainly, we hope not. But we can't always think that it might be a particular area of the world just because we think that particular area is more prone to this kind of activity. It's just not the case. But that said, we can't ever become complacent about the things that are happening here in the UK.
Okay. Ed, many thanks for your help.
Thank you.